Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Vixen After Dark. Thank you so much for staying tuned in, tapped and turned on. I'm your host, Leticia Yofo. If you guys have not already smashed that subscribe button, please go ahead and do so, okay? And click the bell if you want to go ahead and be notified every time I have an upload. Today we're talking about Mercury and Pisces, and this is about to hit your rising sign, your mind and your decisions and your behavior. So if you want real astrology that actually moves your life forward, then I'm going to go ahead and subscribe and click the bell. So we're going to talk about Mercury being in Pisces. Right now it's at 16 degrees, okay? So you got to peep game on the fact that Mercury rules our thinking, our communication, our decisions, our perception, our nervous system, how our nervous system processes everything, okay? And then you got to peep game on the fact that Pisces rules the imagination, our emotions, our intuition, illusions, okay? Also escapism and spiritual perception. So having Mercury going into Pisces, since it's been here, your logic pretty much gets replaced with feeling. And if you don't know how to really manage that, then you may get confused. This is where the distraction comes in, okay? This is where you become emotional. This is where you become avoidant as well, okay? So if you do know how to use it, you become more creative during this time, you have a psychic level of perception that's going to get through. You also can become a visionary and just emotionally intelligent. Come on, Jackson's trying to get it. I think so. Pretty much it's like having the same energy, but a different behavior. Now, when this shifted, okay, pretty much like I said, this hit on February 14th, okay? Mercury leaves Pisces March 3rd. So that's about 2.5 weeks of this influence, okay? And yeah, it's already at 16 degrees, all right? So collectively, what you're going to feel, you guys, is what does this look like? It looks like you're, forgetting what you walked in a room for, right? You're like, oh, I forgot my keys. It's thinking about the past randomly. You might have some vivid dreams. You could even have emotional conversations that could pop up, okay? People texting you just out of the blue. You can be confused around making plans, You might even want to escape your responsibilities by doing other things. This could also look like overanalyzing and overthinking, but taking no action whatsoever. And then music. Music is another love language, and that's something that may hit a little bit deeper, more than normal. You might be paying attention to the lyrics or the bass, the drums, whatever it is that you listen to. So kind of like nostalgia, I would say you get waves of that, okay? Now, remember, this is not weakness. This is your brain switching from logic mode to feeling mode because Mercury's in Pisces, okay? But here's the problem. Most people, they don't know how to operate from feeling without sabotaging themselves. So truly what you'll see being exposed is, I would say, lies you probably told yourself, situations that you avoided emotionally, ignoring your intuition, seeing red flags but rationalizing them as, or justifying them as green flags. So the escapism habits come in, delusions about people, places, and things, having a victim mentality, okay? Because Pisces dissolves the illusion. So you see truth when you stop running from it, okay? Now, why does all this really matter? For, along my spiritual journey, this is kind of what got me to the level I'm at now. My content is going to transition from astrology to just straight, I don't even know how to say it. I'm just going to do it. So we're going to transition out of speaking about astrology, but I am going to give you these last tidbits for this month of February. I'm going to start a numerology series as well. But why does all this matter? Okay. You keep, some people, I say not all, people keep asking about astrology and the timing of it. Okay. But that's not why your life isn't moving. Your soul plan really overrides these cycles, okay? So having Mercury in Pisces isn't here to make decisions for you. It's just here to show you what you already know, but you may refuse to admit it, okay? So some of you are confused because you're avoiding a decision, okay? Not because the energy is confusing. So sit down. This is the time to really write the truth that you don't want to admit. You either face it now, or you can repeat the same situation again and again and again and again in 6 months, okay? You already know what you need to do. Because the lie is, what you've been indoctrinated with, whoever you listen to, the surface level astrology that's going around on the feed is Mercury in Pisces is bad for communication. No, that's lazy astrology. The truth is Mercury in Pisces removes the fake logic and forces emotional honesty, okay? So people struggle because they were trained to ignore their feelings. So when feelings become really loud, that's when you call it confusion. It's really not confusion. Just say it's unprocessed awareness, okay? Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of themes, what they kind of look like when Mercury was in Pisces the last time, like some past cycles within the collective. So what does this really look like? There could have been major emotional revelations in the media. A lot of scandals were exposed. Some people had some artistic breakthroughs, okay? A lot of spiritual movements were gaining momentum, gaining attention, okay? So you can see a lot of that content is on the uprise again, okay? A lot of public confusion around certain information, okay? Even emotional public reactions to certain things that are playing out. I know you see it. I'm not even going to mention in this video. So Mercury in Pisces always blurs facts temporarily so that people can actually take action to go toward to a deeper truth that can resurface, okay? So personally, I want to go through the rising signs, and I'm going to go all the way to Aries to Pisces. That way you know what house is hitting for you, what energy you might be facing, how to work with this energy, okay? And really how to take action, because we're all action-based here, all right? So Aries rising. Aries rising, this is going to be happening in your 12th house. Hi, Jax. Jax wants to hang out with us. Having your 12th house, so we all know this is about your subconscious, this is about healing, this is about closure. So you might even feel a little tired, okay? A little bit emotional during this time. So I would say what's happening right now is you're processing old cycles, okay? So instead, what you want to do is really rest, take naps, and really listen to your intuition instead of forcing any action here, because then you're going against the current, okay? Taurus rising. What happened to your nail? So Taurus rising, this is happening in your 11th house. So friendships, goals, okay, community. So you're probably seeing who's real and who's not. And this is just going to give you a little bit of social clarity during this time. So this is a grand time to utilize this energy to stop chasing people who don't show you any effort. Easy as that. Gemini rising, this is happening in your 10th house. So this is all about your career, your reputation. There could be a little bit of confusion or there could be no clarity as far as the direction or your public image. So you're probably going to be repurposing things, reevaluating things during this time, okay? So make decisions based on alignment and not pressure. Cancer rising. So this is going to be happening in your 9th house. So this is all about your beliefs, learning, travel, your worldview, just really shifting things, okay? So what I would say is, start expanding mentally, okay? Question your beliefs that you inherited from other people. Leo rising. This is happening in your 8th house. So this is all about intimacy, money, psychology. So some deep emotional truths might be surfacing for you during this time. So this is a safe space for you to be vulnerable. And I would say if you have any financial endeavors, make sure you face them on and try not to avoid anything emotional. Just take everything head on with this energy. Okay, Virgo rising. Virgo rising, this is happening in your 7th house of relationships. So there could be some communication issues or a lot of emotional talks. So what you want to do is gain some clarity within your connections that you may have and say what you actually feel, not what sounds correct. Libra rising, this is happening in your 6th house. So your health, your routine, your work habits, you might get a little bit of mental fog. You might be exhausted. your schedule might switch up. So pay attention to your body during this time, okay? And make sure you simplify your routine immediately. Scorpio rising. So this is going to be in your 5th house. So this is creativity, this is romance, you know, creative insights that you may have. They're going to be super high, okay? Your emotions might even be strong during this time. So this is a grand energy to really express yourself, okay? Create instead of overthink something. Transmit your energy into something physical that you like to do. Sag rising. This is going to be hitting your home, your family, your emotions. So a lot of family memories or emotional triggers might occur. You might even dabble into some inner, you know, it's like you got to give yourself some inner security during this time. So I would just say stop pretending that you're unaffected by certain things that may arise, especially when it's deals with your past, okay? Capricorn rising. So this is going to be happening in your 3rd house of communication, thinking. You might be overloaded in your brain with so many thoughts. So this is the time to really just have a little bit of mental discipline and write down everything. Take notes, Post-its, have a little notebook with you at all times, put it in your phone, write things down instead of just spiraling and feeling confused, okay? Aquarius rising. So this is going to be happening in your 2nd house. This is all about money, your self-worth, you know, there could be some financial confusion, but you just might be in the game of reevaluating your morals, values, and beliefs, okay? So you're probably also going to be thinking about how worthy you are during certain situations. So make practical money decisions during this time, not emotional ones, okay? And last but not least, we have Pisces rising. So we know this is going to be in your 1st house of identity and self. So you could be changing how you see yourself right now. So you're really going to define yourself, whether it's externally or internally, okay? And this would be a grand time to choose who you're becoming and be intentional about it. So how do you know if this is all working for you? I get that all the time. How do I know if I'm really doing this right? I'm utilizing this energy to the fullest potential. I get that. That's like one of the main questions I always get. So I'm going to try and start incorporating that with letting you guys know. So when Mercury's in Pisces specifically, you're going to notice that you have your intuition is going to be off the Richter, okay? You're going to have tons of emotional clarity. You're going to start having way more honest conversations. You might even have a lot of creative ideas. You are possibly going to speak the truth, or when you hear truth, you just can't ignore it. You might have the desire to really change directions in something. And whenever you're discomfortable, whenever you're not comfortable, that means that's the pinpoint area, like that's the root of growth that could be occurring, okay? That's a good sign, all right? Remember, astrology does show a little bit of timing, but the behavior is what creates the outcome. So Mercury in Pisces is just giving us awareness right now, okay? What you do with awareness determines your specific future, okay? So you can blame Mercury in Pisces as being confusing, or you can just use this as insight that I'm passing along to you. One keeps you stuck and the other one keeps you moving forward. You already know what you need to do, okay? Now, I do want to pull a few cards to see what would be the area of focus with this mercurial energy, okay, that's pushing through. So let's kind of see. Just a quick couple of messages. And if you guys want full readings, you'll follow my Vixen Oracles channel, where I will be doing full on spreads over there. Okay. What is the message for while Mercury is in Pisces? I'm just going to pull it all out. There is some pass-through energy here. Okay. So during this time, since Pisces is a water sign, it's very emotional. What you'll want to do is stand in your power. This is a time to really be open about your emotions and be a little bit vulnerable with the King of Cups here. So there's a lot of love to give, especially when it comes to your thoughts, your words, your gestures, your ideas. Okay, so putting love into those things, being very mature about it, being supportive would be a grand thing as well, and being passionate. You know, King of Cups is a very strong and intense, intuitive energy. So a lot of you guys, whoever's watching, you could be tapped in, turned on, tapped in, turned on already off rip. Okay, now with the Knight of Wands here, I got a lot of yes energy too. If anyone wants to, the answer to your question is yes. So Knight of Wands, you guys could be just really initiating something. We do have Chirons in Aries, Saturns in Aries, Neptune's in Aries. There's a lot of fire energy, but we do also have a lot of Aquarian energy playing out. We do have some air cards coming out here too, but enjoy, you know, there's a lot of assertive energy could be playing out. It's telling you to be assertive. There could be some intense experiences that may go on. Lots of communication, of course, as Mercury does tap into communication, right? So a lot of fast moving action, a lot of ideas. So these ideas turn them into projects, okay? There could be a lot of messages that could be coming through, a lot of spark that you guys could have. Okay, so travel could be a thing, wanting to get outside, you know, motivation is going to come through. I would just say with Six of Swords here, move away from things that don't make you feel so good emotionally, okay? Some of you guys might even just take the baggage with you. It's kind of like swallowing that pill. Okay, not feeling your best, you know. Some of you guys might have calm energy as well while taking a trip. It's like it's intentional. Some of you guys might be going somewhere or transitioning to unknown territory with Six of Swords. Now, we do also have the Empress that came out. So there could be a little bit of stagnancy. And this could be that energy of where sometimes you may not feel motivated to do something. So I also got some of you guys might have a surprise pregnancy. And also with money, okay? Money, make sure that you are aware of your spending habits as well, because a confused mind does nothing. Remember, we're going from logic to emotion. So that retail therapy, yeah, watch out for that as well, okay? We do have the World card here, so some of you guys can be completing a cycle that you could be going through, or something will be completed during this time while Mercury's in Pisces, okay? There could be a new chapter that's arising, a new phase that's happening in your life, you know. But I get the feeling that you guys are going to start feeling positive moving forward. It's going to feel like you're floating in a sense. Okay, you might be seeing more of the world. I have a lot of travel here. Some of you guys could be taking short trips, long trips, or planning a long travel. You could be going somewhere later, you know, but getting the dates together, you know, figuring everything out, who's going, you know, plane tickets, or just keeping your eye out on that, okay? But a lot of successful conclusions I see here. It's going to feel like right place, right time kind of an energy, like you're on top of the world, okay? So you're going to be very proud of your achievements because you do have the Queen of Pentacles. So having King of Cups and Queen of Pentacles lets me know that there is going to be a balancing act, because Queen of Pentacles is more so a mothering type of an energy, very mature, very down to earth, you know. So focusing on, like I would say with this energy, transmute it and focus on your stability, security, support, safety, building a foundation. That's still ending it with a nurturing energy from beginning to end with King of Cups and Queen of Pentacles, both very nurturing, solving problems, being solution based, okay? Even on the education sector or something with healing could be going on, okay? So making sure that you're caring for others and also still taking care of business is how I'm getting this. I'll do more of a spread on Vixen Oracles. Make sure you guys go subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.